off a daily fantasy. His numbers too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit up by, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to The Bachelor Pat. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our Fantasy Draft NBA Quick 5 Core picks for Wednesday, January 22nd. We have a massive 12-game slate, so obviously there's tons of ways you can go. This is just one core of 5 players based on their pricing here on Fantasy Draft that I think could be successful tonight. First things first, thank you again for all your support. I truly appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Get access to all of our content. This is our second NBA video of the day. Our other NBA video for the other sites is up as well. Fantasy Draft, for those of you who are new wondering what the hell is Fantasy Draft, Fantasy Draft is rake-free DFS. What that means is all of your entry fees go right back into the prize pool, so a higher percentage of the players win. You also win more when you do win. None of this playing $20 and then you sneak across the cash line and you profit $10. You at least win 2 times your entry. It's a lot of fun. Rake-free DFS. Be sure to check it out. Enter promo code DFS Bachelor when you decide to sign up for Fantasy Draft. It's a lot of fun. One other thing I'd like to note before we get started is the salary cap is 2 times that of DraftKings. So you have a $100,000 salary cap. So when you see a player 17,000, 12,000, etc., cut that in half, and that's about what they would be priced on DraftKings or the equivalent thereof. I like the site. I like the pricing. It doesn't allow for these super teams. It's a lot tighter pricing than we've been seeing, so you don't have these outrageous scores. A lot of fun. Be sure to check out Fantasy Draft. Again, enter promo code DFS Bachelor. So let's get started right here at guard. You can see the format. You play 3 guards, whichever guard position they play, 3 forward/centers, and a couple of utilities. So it's a little bit different of a format. Essentially DraftKings scoring for those of you who are familiar with that. So at guard, I like Trae Young. Now the Clippers 19th against guards. Overall, they are 16th against point guards. What I like about Trae Young tonight, number 1, he's at home. Number 2, he's only 17.4 on Fantasy Draft. That's the equivalent of like 8,700 on DraftKings. I think we would all pay that price on DraftKings for Trae Young with legit 70-point upside. At the Clippers, almost assuredly going to be without Kawhi Leonard tonight on the back end of a back-to-back. Patrick Beverley probably going to miss tonight. Left last night's game with an injury. So the defensive matchup for Trae Young gets exponentially easier with those injuries at home. I think Trae Young at 17.4 is a steal. I like Trae Young a lot. His last 3 against the Clippers, a 53, a 44, and a 37. Again, a back-to-back for the Clippers. No Kawhi, no Patrick Beverley. A solid chance there's no Paul George either. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. And as soon as that news comes out, there's going to be a ton of news throughout the day. Next, we need a little bit of value since I'm paying up for Trae Young. I like to go balanced oftentimes on Fantasy Draft because the pricing is so tight, and you oftentimes see lineups that you just don't see on the other sites being the lineups you have over here because you have to be smarter with your dollars. But for some value for a very, very short-handed Denver team, I do like Monty Morris versus Houston. Houston is 19th against point guards. They're 21st overall versus guards in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring, and you're getting him for 9,400. That's the equivalent of 4,700 on DraftKings. He's going to play a ton of minutes. No Jamal Murray, no Gary Harris, no Paul Millsap, a very short-handed Denver team. And what I also found interesting about Monty Morris against Houston is in his last 5 games against Houston, he has 1 bad game of an 11, but his other 4 are a 37, a 43, a 26, and a 34. A terrific history versus this team. Extra usage, extra minutes. I like Monty Morris for a value play tonight. Next, he wasn't even in my other video, but when you look at the pricing on Fantasy Draft, I like Kyle Lowry a lot. Now, against guards, Philadelphia number 1 in the league on fantasy draft scoring. They're number 3 against point guards. But Kyle Lowry you're getting for $12,200. That's the equivalent of $6,100 on DraftKings. If you look on fantasy draft at all the positions in that 12-3, 12-2 range, he's got the biggest chance of getting a 50 burger. You've got like Dylan Brooks in that area, Dennis Schroeder, Marvin Bagley, Jaren Jackson, and then you have Kyle Lowry sitting there at 12-2. I think it's a terrific price. The same for Fred VanVleet at 12K. He almost made the list. I love the price for Kyle Lowry here on Fantasy Draft. When you look at his last 4 games against Philly, they're a terrific defense. No Joel Embiid is going to make it a little bit easier for him to penetrate, etc. Title of the sex tape, there you go. But look at his last 4 against Philly, 38, 31, 30, and a 45 in his last outing. I just think it's one of the bargain prices today for Kyle Lowry. Next, we talked about him in the video, and I think this is another guy who's priced right at 11.2. That's the equivalent of about $5,600 on DraftKings. I like Aaron Gordon. Oklahoma City 14th versus forward centers. Overall versus power forwards, they are 8th in the league. Here's the thing. Oklahoma City could be without both Steven Adams and Nerlens Noel, which is going to make guys like Mike Muscala have to play a ton of minutes. Danilo Gallinari will play a ton at the 4. Not a great defender. Aaron Gordon, an excellent history versus Oklahoma City. In his last 5, he has a 29, which is his lowest output, a 47, a 40, a 39, and a 79. Another guy in this 11K range with 50-point upside. And when you look there, who has more of a 50-point upside than Aaron Gordon in that price range? I say nobody. I'm looking for upside in a huge 12-game tournament. I like Aaron Gordon a lot. And finally, price too low on both DraftKings and Fantasy Draft. For $12.5, you're getting LaMarcus Aldridge. New Orleans, it's a paced-up game. They play at a rapid pace. Could see the return of Zion momentarily. I think he plays on a solid minutes restriction tonight. But you're getting LaMarcus Aldridge for the equivalent of about $6,750 on DraftKings. He's $6,800 on DraftKings, which I think is too cheap. He's got 50-point upside. New Orleans is 24th against opposing power forwards. In terms of fantasy draft scoring, they are 28th against forward/centers. And again, at 12.5, who here at 12.5 has more 50-point upside than LaMarcus Aldridge? Maybe some Wiggins, Alec Burks at 12.6. Lonzo Ball, but with Holiday and all of them back, it gets even more murky for him. Love the matchup, love the price. LaMarcus Aldridge in a solid spot tonight. So if we go with that core 5 of Trae Young, Monty Morris, Kyle Lowry, Aaron Gordon, LaMarcus Aldridge, it still leaves you $12,433 per player. That's the equivalent of about $6,200 per player on DraftKings. I think that's very friendly. Plenty of salary to work with. You could use more value, pay up for more studs, go balanced across the board. We're not just handicapping you with the most expensive guys and then saying good luck, play a bunch of bottom basement window lickers. We're not doing that here. And the Bachelor Pad. Love that core 5. Be sure to check out Fantasy Draft. Like, comment, subscribe below in the comment section. Be part of our weekly giveaway on Monday's $25 PayPal giveaway. Don't forget to enter promo code DFS Bachelor when you do sign up for Fantasy Draft. Enjoy rake-free DFS. It's a lot of fun. 5 videos for Fantasy Draft NBA per week, plus the other sites, etc. So lots of content, lots of help. It's a great site. Follow me on Twitter. Get all the news and information throughout the day. Cheers to you all. Thank you all so much for all your support. May the fantasy gods be with you tonight, and we will see you tomorrow for Thursday's 3-game NBA slate. We'll have a video for all the sites again as well. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.